Alright, hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you guys how to build the stat poker from Tango and Etho on the Hermitcraft server. So, you can obviously make this a lot simpler, like you don't have to have the hopper chain be so long, and that's wrong. Okay, so basically, just to show you that this works, all you need to do is press the button. Over here's a shuffling mechanism, and then what happens is this is a monostable circuit, so it takes a 1-tick pulse, and then it unlocks this hopper for 1 second so that another one can flow into here, and then this, whatever was in here before this, is now brought over to here by the shulker box. Okay, so to get started, we're going to want to do a comparator clock. And basically you can just have your button wherever you want it to be, so actually I should probably raise this in the air a few blocks. So for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to put the button for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to put the button right here. And then from this comparator clock, we're going to take 2 signals, one to the shuffling mechanism with the observer clock, and then another into the monostable circuit. So let's start with the observer clock. Now you can make this as long as or as short as possible, and you can also just raise or lower it based on like how you want it, how you want the setting. So for up here, I just made another stat poker, but I made this observer clock vertical, and then you take the signal out of this block into the shuffling mechanism. But just for the tutorial, I'm just going to do it just like I did over on the other side. So what you want is you want to have an observer with the face coming out of the piston, and then you want another one with a 1 block space in between. Now, what you're going to do here is, for stat poker, I think they said you needed 20 droppers, so let's just lay out a 10 long space here. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to replace that, and just keep replacing these with droppers. You're going to need to shift click if you want to place the droppers just like this. Then when you get to the end, you're going to want to place a dropper that faces you this way. Then you're going to want to take the droppers facing backwards. And then on the last one, we're going to need a temp block here, and then just place the dropper in facing back into this one. So now we need to take our redstone input from this observer, and the observer clock, basically what they do is they send really fast ticks, so then we can get a signal that will signal each of these droppers, and it'll basically shuffle all the cards real quick. Okay, so now the other thing that we want to do is we want to take a 1-tick pulse out of any of these droppers. It doesn't really matter where you put this, but you just want to take a pulse. From this comparator clock, and just like over there, we're going to build a monostable circuit. Actually, this should be a repeater. Okay, so that's repeater is going to power off this torch, which will turn this piston off, and then that'll send a 1-tick pulse, so we can, it doesn't really matter where you take it. I don't think I'm going to have enough room to take it this way, so I'm just going to take it from the side. But just like that, we're just going to use a repeater, get a tick pulse out of that, and basically all we need to do now is just lock this hopper, and then we want a repeater that's going into it, so now we just want to power this repeater for 1 tick, and that means that we just have to connect this redstone line. Okay, and now you can take this hopper to wherever you want to play. Just for easiness sake, I'm going to put it over here by the button. Oh, and what Etho and Tango did in the video is they used a shulker box as like where they were going to play. So what you're gonna want to do to get the item into the shulker box is just put a line into the dropper, and then you take a comparator signal from the dropper, so you'll be able to tell when something is entered. Okay, and now you need a 3x3 area with a block on either side of the dropper. It doesn't really matter which side. Okay, so you take a comparator signal, and then you repeat it, so it's not just going to have a signal strength of 1, because there should only be 1 item in there. And then you take that signal, and you bring it back into the block, so that powers the dropper. So now, give me 1 second, I'll transfer all of the items from over there into over here, so we can look at it. Okay. And I've just put all the pieces of paper in here. It's not achievements, it's just tests, but we should see once we press the button that we'll get the randomizer going, and then I think I just missed it, but oh, and one thing, you're gonna need to run it 1 time beforehand, because there will be a paper that gets stuck in here. Oh. Yeah, I believe this repeater needs to be set to 4 ticks. Oh, and this one. Oh, sorry guys. There should be a repeater here, not a, and it should be on 4 ticks. Sorry about that. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see the pulse actually comes through, and it's not just a 0 tick. So now there should be a paper in here, and we should get that paper next. Oh, actually we just got one. Oh, and just to refill it, you just basically need a simple hopper line, nothing fancy. Just connect it all the way back. Obviously you can use less hoppers or more hoppers, or just like move it somewhere else. And also you can just move the button so it's like at a wall, and then this will go this way, and then you can have this also go this way, and just move this over to the edge. Now, I think it should work regardless of where you move it to, because I think I did one where it was on the edge and it still worked. But basically, yeah, so just to use this, just basically just rename all of the papers to achievements, and then you guys can play with your stat menu. Yep, there it is. Alright. And if this gets enough support, I'll show you my mechanism for real poker, where you can get, like, you can either play Texas Hold'em or, yeah, it's just like a real poker mechanism with 4 different settings. Alright, well, thank you guys, and if you enjoyed it, so I can, if you want to see the real poker tutorial, that'll be a lot longer than this. I noticed I did make one little mistake in doing this, so I only did a row of 9 droppers, so 18 droppers total. And actually this doesn't really matter, just for the sake of the tutorial, I will fix it. But in your Minecraft world, if you don't want to actually, if you don't want to end up having to rename all of the achievements, you can actually just shorten the dropper cycle. It doesn't really matter how many droppers are in here, as long as it's not, because I think the max signal strength is 7, so I think you can only go 1 more in this direction, and this direction's already maxed out. So, yeah, basically if you want to do real poker, or if you want to do anything else, let's say you just have, a deck of 60. So, 60 divided by 9, and then you round up to the nearest number, so you want to do 7 droppers. But actually you want it to be even, so you should just use 8 droppers. So basically just divide your number by 9, because that's the number of items in a dropper, and then round it up, and then if it's not even, just add 1. Alright, thanks guys.